Hey Canucks fans, are you ready for another Vancouver Canucks victory? I'm Clay Emo, I'm at Canuck Clay on Twitter, I'm at Clayton Emo on Instagram. I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club. It's my Canucks take, all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for Thursday, September the 3rd. This is where you get Canucks insight that's positive and timely. I'm pumped, I'm confident, I'm hopeful, I'm optimistic, I'm positive, I'm good looking, I'm all those things because I am ready for another Vancouver Canucks win in Game 6, 6:45 tonight. They're designated as the home team. That's the only thing I don't like about tonight's game, but we'll make it work. We know that our record wearing the home jerseys is certainly not as strong as it is wearing the away jerseys. And intuitively, that does make a lot of sense. You think, of course, there's no home ice advantage in terms of crowd or anything like that, or knowing the nooks and crannies of your own arena, but you do get last line change, and that would seem to be a strategic advantage, but maybe it's just the way that the series is rolled out. I certainly wouldn't say that it's not that Travis Green doesn't know how to match lines, but maybe he hasn't paid as much attention to it. Whatever the reason, we are not as good when we're wearing the blue jerseys as we are when we're wearing the white jerseys. The guy wearing the white jersey in net, all signs point to Thatcher Demko. It started in the morning it started on Tuesday night when he played so well, and then I know a lot of people, including myself, were talking about, well, who do you start in Game 6, Markstrom or Demko? Of course, only if Markstrom was fully healthy. If Markstrom isn't fully healthy, then there's no question that it should be Demko. But if Markstrom was healthy, do you start Demko or Markstrom? Do you start Demko 6 and have Markstrom ready for 7? Do you go the other way? But it sounds like it might be a moot point if Jacob Markstrom is indeed not healthy enough to suit up again, whether he's dressed as the backup or not even dressed at all as he was on Tuesday night. So it sounds like Thatcher Demko will be the guy. Rick Dollywall tweeted as much this morning, and he's been 100% accurate when it came to when Toffoli was going to return, when Myers was going to return, and he was one of the first to break that Markstrom wasn't going to play for Game 5. Similarly, during the press conference today, Troy Stecher hinted as much, saying that that Demko's ready to go, that we're all ready to go. So I think that it's pretty clear to me at least, that it'll be Thatcher Demko in the crease for tonight. When the Canucks win tonight, then you worry about Game 7 later, but you got to obviously win Game 6 to get to Game 7. Troy Stecher also, I think he was answering a question from Patrick Johnson of the Province, where Patrick was trying to make a point that given that Troy Stecher's RFA contract status at the end of the season, have you given any thought to this could be what your last games playing for the Canucks? And Troy Stecher just shut him down real quick, and he just said, no, next question. And it was kind of dismissive. Maybe he didn't want to be thinking about that during a Game 6, so I kind of get that thinking, and I tweeted out, I just say we, because I'm from Richmond too, I say we Richmond guys mean what we say, or we say what we mean, and we mean what we say. What else for the Canucks? I don't expect any changes on D, so the same 6 D defensemen. That means Tyler Myers is still in the lineup, obviously, and Jordy Ben has been the one that's been sitting out since Myers has been back. Up front's interesting. They reunited the Lotto line, which made a lot of sense, and they were quite effective in the third period. Not surprisingly, or not coincidentally, the Canucks' best period of the game on Tuesday. So, of course, that is Pettersson between Miller and Besser, your 6:49 line. The second line's interesting because I've always, and I know many people have been talking about this today, we've always wanted to see Horvat with Toffoli and Pearson, because Toffoli and Pearson, they have chemistry, they're best friends, they've won a cup together in LA, they're a part of that 70s line, and that's the way I thought that they would go. As soon as Besser got back from his injury in March, we only got one game before the season postponed or got canceled, but I thought they were going to go Lotto line and then Horvat, Toffoli, and Pearson. But for whatever reason, we haven't seen Horvat, Toffoli, and Pearson, and Toffoli doesn't look right. He still looks like his ankle is bothering him, if that's what it is, and he looks slow. So if you're worried about speed, do you actually put Jake Virtanen up on that second line, which I've heard people say, and then drop Toffoli to a third or fourth line, but at least you still have him there for his power play skills. Regardless, you're not going to take Toffoli out of the lineup, but it'll be very interesting to see where he plays tonight, on which line. I still think you start Lotto line, and then you go Horvat with Pearson and Toffoli. So start Toffoli on the second line. You can always move Virtanen up to that line as the game progresses. And we just know that the Pettersson-Pearson experiment wasn't working, whereas Horvat and Pearson had decent chemistry. They played well throughout the season. So put Pettersson back with Miller and Besser, yes, then put Horvat between Pearson and Toffoli. I don't expect any other lineup changes. Roussel had a better game last time, so I think we'll see Zach McEwen or Louis Eriksson in tonight. Travis Green doesn't like to change his lineup, especially after a win. So that's it for the Vancouver Canucks. can't wait to see them play, obviously. For Vegas, the interesting story for me is also their goaltending. Their situation is a little different because they don't have anyone injured. It's not like they have their starter injured like Markstrom is for us. So really, you're looking at two really good goalies. And of course, Marc-Andre Fleury, almost unbeatable for the Vancouver Canucks, whereas Robin Lehner has shut out the Canucks twice in the series, but he's also been beaten by the Canucks twice, although his numbers are very dazzling because of those two shutouts. So if you're Peter DeBoer, what do you do for the Vegas Nets? And forget about that Alan Walsh agent tweet controversy from last week. That's hopefully behind them, even though I keep bringing it up. For Vegas, it'll be very interesting. Do you start Lehner tonight because he has shut out the Canucks twice and he is your number one workhorse right now? He's your number one guy. And then if the Canucks win, then do you go to Fleury in Game 7 for that must-win game? And he's got maybe a bit of a mental edge, or at least he feels good about his game. Or do you go the other way and say if Fleury won Game 4, so put Fleury in for Game 6. The Canucks haven't beaten this season, or at least in this playoffs, and they rarely beat them. And then if you're worried about back-to-back fatigue, if the Canucks somehow beat Fleury, then it's easy. You go back to Lehner in Game 7 because Fleury, it's back-to-back, and B, Fleury lost you the game. I guess that's the same argument for if Lehner loses the game, right, tonight, that's back-to-back, and he lost you the game, so you go to Fleury. So no matter what happens for Vegas, I think if it goes to Game 7, you're going to see the opposite goalie of who plays tonight. But the question is, who is the goalie that plays tonight for Vegas? So I can see arguments for both. Again, Lehner, because he's been really good this series, actually. And really good numbers, and he's beaten the Canucks 2 out of 4 times, but shutting them out both of his wins. Whereas you put in Fleury, he has a better history against the Canucks, and then you also think so. I don't think you worry about Game 7. You can't think about that because obviously Vegas wants to win tonight. But I think there's a small piece of it that factor is still in the back of your mind, I think, a little bit. But obviously it's not the biggest contributing factor. So a lot of interesting storylines heading in for tonight. For Vegas, who's going to be the starting goaltender? And for the Canucks, it'll likely be Demko, so there's no question there. But what are the forward lines going to look like? I'm working from home today. I had a bunch of meetings and I needed to help my daughter Kayla today with some stuff. So I'm working from home and then have a few meetings this afternoon, and then I can't wait to watch tonight's game. And then of course, join me for my live stream right after the game, well, about 10 to 15 minutes after the game. Lastly, if you're watching this on YouTube and you somehow not subscribed yet, I'm only 15 followers away from 5,000 subscribers, or 15 subs away from 5,000. I don't get too big into the milestones, and my channel probably is growing a lot slower than it should, but it's still a pretty cool milestone. So if you haven't subbed, please sub. And if you know people that would benefit from my hearing my content, hearing my voice, and seeing my good-looking face every day talking about the Canucks, please invite them to subscribe as well. All right, so subscribe if you like to. Like this video if you like to. Question of the day is, what's your prediction for tonight's game? Nice and simple. Maybe you can also throw in there who you think is going to start for the Vegas Golden Knights in net, because we know who's going to start for the Canucks. And then, yes, join me 10 to 15 minutes after the final whistle, win or lose, for a post-game live stream. But hopefully we are talking about a Canucks win. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and have a great day. God bless, and go Canucks go.